Shalom. Shalom. All right, so shalom, shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakurash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught us all this truth in the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm Shaquat, and I'm back with another lesson, Lord willing, is edifying to the hopeful elect, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, to you sincere, Akyam, Wakwathium, and the sincere, Shalom to you brothers out here pushing this truth out on the highways and the byways and through the YouTube lessons, man. Shalom to you all. Lord willing to be edifying and exhorting to the hopeful elect. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna continue, get into it. As you see by the title, hold on. Some breaking news said Ford recalls more than 254,000 SUVs due to software issues. I don't know what that could lead to. Anyway, Iran executes its most spectacular U-turn yet. Let's see what that's talking about, Salakia. Let's see what this is talking about real quick. Just popped up. Iran, Trump executes his most spectacular U-turn yet. International markets in the world the world at large have grown used to U.S. President Donald Trump's abrupt reversals. Nothing much. So anyway, as I was saying, title of this lesson will be one missile is enough to erase. And I'm basically saying the small hats, and that's what Kim Jong Un stated. I saw this article over a week ago. Just been in a chamber, haven't been able to do a lesson on it because a lot of things are going on. So there's so much going on. Sometimes you got to put certain topics on the back burner. All right. So, but we back. Around to it to get to this here. So the Wadi How Bashimi How Shai for that. I want to start this lesson. But going here, of course, let's go here. So I want to show you all this, YouTube. All right, this video will be conducted under this right here, copyright disclaimer, under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right, so there you go. Just to get that out the way. So please do not take my video down. So I'm going to get into a few things. So first, let's get into what the title of the lesson is all about. All right, one missile is enough to erase, you see it. Kim Jong-un offers support if Iran requested. All right, and other nations have also offered support to Iran. I meant to pull it up before I started. Forgive me, hold on. Russia, not Ukraine, but China, not Ukraine. All right, what nations have offered Iran support in this war? All right. All right. The fuck, nigga? I spelled that shit right. Because I ain't put it uppercase. I know I spelled that shit right. Hmm? Yeah, I saw that too, right? The fuck this happened? Okay, there we go. All right, hold on. Who has offered Iran support during this war that began on February 28th, 2026? All right, here we go. So let's read this before we go to that Instagram post. So it says during the 2026 Iran war, right? This war between Iran, Israel, and the U.S. And the U.S. is basically in a proxy war. All right, basically third party. You ever in solos on Fortnite, all right, or something like that, or say you running duos. All right, you running duos, but your teammate is dead, so it's just you. You run into one guy, you start fighting him, and then another guy comes in, his teammate, and starts blasting your shit. That's a proxy war. All right, in layman's terms, a little video game terms. During the 2026 Iran war, Iran has received varying levels of support from several countries and allied entities, primarily in intelligence, technological, political, and indirect military cooperation. Russia has provided intelligence support, sharing data on the U.S. military assets and logistics, helping Iran monitor and respond to coalition operations without directly sending troops to the region. So Russia has provided support, all right, which we already know that, of course. Um, China, all right, says China. So let's read the Russian one again. I was a little bit on autopilot, so forgive me. Russia has provided intelligence support. And we heard about this when when the war first started. He was giving them intelligence of where certain forgot where it was. I saw it in an article back when the shit first popped off like 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I can't think of the details right now. But yeah, I heard of this. I just didn't get around to making a lesson on it. But it says Russia has provided intelligence support, sharing data on U.S. military assets and well, it said it, Slovakia. So, but it was something in particular. But slips my mind right now. Sharing data on U.S. military assets and logistics, helping Iran monitor and respond to coalition operations without directly sending troops to the region. So that's how Russia has aided Iran in this battle. China has contributed technologically and diplomatically, giving Iran access to the Beidou navigation satellite system, advanced radar systems, and missile fuel precursors, enhancing Iran's targeting capabilities while maintaining strategic neutrality in direct combat. And also, it doesn't say it here, but China has also offered Iran, which Iran, I don't know if they accept it or not. I don't know anything about that, but China has offered Iran one of their hydrogen bombs. And in that hydrogen bomb, it contains 60 nuclear warheads. Now let's look up what a hydrogen bomb is. You know, hold on, let's look up what that is. Chinese hydro, yep, Chinese hydrogen bomb. China has developed a new non-nuclear hydrogen bomb, which it still could just if even if they were to shoot those on America, it would still destroy this place. It says that utilizes magnesium hydride. Salakia to create a sustained fireball, marking a significant advancement in military technology. Key features of the hydrogen bomb: non-nuclear mechanism. Unlike traditional hydrogen bombs that rely on nuclear fusion, this device operates through a chemical reaction involving magnesium hydrate, a compound that can store hydrogen at high densities. This allows the bomb to generate intense heat without using nuclear materials. Sustained fireball. The bomb produces a fireball exceeding 1,000 degrees Celsius. That's diabolical because it tells you in the parentheses that's 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit. Damn, nigga, you literally cooked. You know, that lasts for over 2 seconds, significantly longer than the conventional explosives like the TNT. I don't know what the fuck that is, but yeah, which typically produce a brief flash. This sustained heat can melt materials such as aluminum, alloys, making it effective for targeting military operations. Man, the Lord is really opening that armory, man. Let's get that. Let's pause and let's go there. Jeremiah 51. I don't know where the hell it's at, but it's in 51. Shit. Just give me a new brain, Lord. Fuck. Give me a new body. Not a new brain, but a new body. This shit suck. Fuck. Well, let's just do this. All right. Maybe it's in 50. Let's do this. The Lord Armory. Oh. Spelling that motherfucker wrong. Anderson, Jeremiah 50, not 51. Sisalaki. I was spelling it wrong. Thought I put the R. I wasn't. Jeremiah 50 and 25. And Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. All right, the land of the Chaldeans. Which we know the Chaldeans is talking about the elites. All right. But the land of the Chaldeans is referring to America because this is the glory of the elites. America. All right. They run their whole operation mainly through America. You understand? So let's go over here. You go to Armory, you get the word Osar. All right, which I don't know what it is in the paleo, but you know that's the modern Hebrew word for it. I'm not very good at reading Syrian script, so Salakia. I will have to go to the dictionary and need to put paleo on here. But I need to study the Assyrians, so that's on me. So Salakia. You know, we gotta be scholars, so I can't make no excuse for that. It says treasures, treasury, storehouses, cellars, armory, garners, store. It says, let's see, store supplies, food and truck, treasury, magazine of weapons. There we go. I'm looking for something like that. Here we go, baby. Magazine of weapons, figuratively of God's armory. All right, that's beautiful, man. All right, so weapons. He's opening the weapons, man. Remember what he said in Isaiah 54 and 16. All right, he blew off the smith. Let's get that. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. All right, these are talking about the nukes, but also just all these different weapons that the Lord has allowed Esau to create, all to lead to his demise. All right. So the Lord is opening that armory. All right, he's opening that armory. Matter of fact, I wonder what this says in the Message translation. That brother, the brother Amath from Jacksonville, he always goes into the Message translation. So I'm curious to see what that say. So let's do this. Come on now. So this is in the Message translation. I, God, opened my arsenal and brought out my weapons of wrath. The Master, God of the angel armies, has a job to do in Babylon. Come at her from all sides, break into her granaries, shovel her into piles and burn her up. Leave nothing, leave no one. Leave nothing and leave. I love this. I like this translation. The brother put us on with this one. Hold on. Leave nothing, leave no one. Now you got to remember back to Revelation, right? The 11th chapter. All right, let me show you that. Let's go to Revelation 11. Do a whole lesson just on these damn bombs. Let's go to Revelation 11. And it's 13. It's like I was thinking that. And the same hour was there a great earthquake by way of what? Nukes. It says in the 10th part of the city fell. This is talking about America as it's made up of 10 FEMA zones. We believe that this is talking about in particular, then, maybe Russia and them shoot a nuke over here. Then they start negotiating and they drop another one in this region, right? It says in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. 7 goes back into completion. All right, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. So America is going to be completely destroyed. There will be nobody left here. So like we read in that Message translation, all right, it said, kill all her young Turks, leave nothing, leave no one. So this place is going to be annihilated. Remember, it's going to be inhabited by desert creatures after this destruction. Kill all her young Turks, send them to their doom. Doom to them, yes, doomsday. Doomsday, what they call us, man, the doomsday prophets, man. They call us the doomsday prophets and the prophets of doom. So look at that, Jeremiah 28 and 8. I mean, look, it looks like we're doing our job, right? Let's get that Jeremiah 28 and 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Yes. So there we go. The prophets of doom. All right. So it says, the clock has finally run out on them. And don't they have something called a doomsday clock? Man, this is beautiful right here, man. They got something called a doomsday clock, right? And let's see what the doomsday clock is at right now. Damn near at 12. And that means shit about to get wicked. That means we're all, all out war. Let's see. Doomsday clock. Let's see, I ain't talking about no film. 2026. Look at this. Doomsday clock today is currently at 85 seconds to midnight, the closest it has ever been to global catastrophe. Because when it hits 12 midnight, all right, when this clock hits 12 midnight, all right, it's complete destruction, man. This is global catastrophe. This is when we are in all-out war, all-out nuclear warfare. World War III has completely popped off. All right, Yahweh Shai came back, all that. That's what this means. But don't worry, it ain't going to hit 12 a.m. yet because the MOTB hasn't been mandated or even implemented. It's been implemented in other parts of the world, but it hasn't been implemented in America, and it got to be mandated. When I say mandated, it don't mean they literally force you to take it, which some people they may even force to do. You have stupids who come on the comment board. I'm going to just say it like that. It sounds dumb, don't it? So I'm going to say it like that. Stupids that come on the comment board talking about, well, what if Esau forces you to take the chip? Listen, nigga, 9 times out of 10 that won't happen. But if that just so happens to happen to you, then that means your bitch ass ain't of the elect. That's all it means. So yeah, MOTB is still an RFID chip. So anyway, the MOTB has to be mandated. All right. So, but the point is, we are 85 seconds to midnight. This is the closest it has ever been to global catastrophe since its creation in 1947. Beautiful work. So this is the closest it's ever been. And don't think it's going to start going back up in time. All right. So this is amazing. The clock, man. The clock. What did it say? The clock has finally run out on them. Yeah, it's running out. This clock, it's only a minute and 25 seconds left on this damn clock. That's how close it is, man. We here, baby. We here. All right, we here, man. And it says since 1947. So that was 77 years ago. What does the number 7 mean? Completion, man. All right, knowledge of completion. 2, 7, and 2 of them. 2 means knowledge. Complete knowledge. So your time is up, nigga. Your time is up. That's why Revelation 12:12 says what it says. The devil shall come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So this nigga knows he doesn't have any time left. That's why he's going to come down with that great wrath, right? So it says, and here is a surprise. And then it goes into something else. This is good too, but the point has been made. Yeah, I'm going to hit that MSG more. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. So let's go back over here and talk about China hydrogen bomb. All right, let's see. Controlled detonation. When detonated, the magnesium hydride undergoes rapid thermal decomposition, releasing hydrogen gas that ignites upon mixing with air. This creates a self-sustaining combustion loop, allowing for prolonged and intense thermal damage over a large area. The bomb's ability, and then it says military applications, the bomb's ability to generate high temperatures and sustain heat makes it suitable for neutralizing high-value targets and saturating large areas with intense heat, which could change the dynamics of modern warfare. Strategic implications. The development of this hydrogen bomb reflects China's ongoing efforts to modernize its military capabilities amid rising tensions, particularly regarding Taiwan, which Taiwan is no match for China. It says the weapon's unique properties may alter the landscape of deterrence as it mimics some psychological effects of nuclear weapons while avoiding the catastrophe consequences associated with them. All right, when you go in conclusion, China's new hydrogen bomb represents a significant leap in weapon technology, combining advanced chemical engineering with military strategy. It says its implications for global security and military balance are still being assessed, but it undoubtedly marks a notable development in the realm of modern warfare. All right, and this is something they offered to Iran. Like I said, I can't tell you if Iran accepted it and is going to end up mollywopping Israel where they're hitting a part of America with it. There's 60 hydrogen bombs. There's 60 warheads within this hydrogen bomb. All right, and as you can see, it has the same look. It creates a mushroom cloud and all that in the ring, like a nuclear bomb, but it's not a nuclear bomb. But that shit still get wicked. Still get wicked, man. All right, so hey, we had a beautiful time in prophecy indeed. All right, so I want to go back here to what we were talking about. So Hezbollah has also offered Iran support. It says in Lebanon has actively supported, participated alongside Iran launching cross-border operations against Israel. Though political support has shown signs of eternal debate, it says Iran-backed militias in Iraq, such as Kataib, Hezbollah, and Asaib al-Haq, have also been aligned with Tehran's objectives, posing regional challenges to U.S. and Israeli interests. Syria remains a loyal ally, facilitating Iran. The fuck? It's like it. Siri started listening in on me. What the fuck, man? Hold on. Syria remains a loyal ally, facilitating Iranian operations and hosting Iranian-backed militias. Yemen's Houthi rebels have launched missile and drone operations supporting Iran's regional strategy. It says other countries demonstrating political and ideological alignment include Turkey, which has criticized Israeli actions and engaged in limiting coordination with Iran, Qatar, which hosts Hamas leadership and allows pro-Iran narratives, Pakistan, which maintains a cautious but sympathetic stance, North Korea, which we're getting into that now, which aligns with Iran on anti-U.S. positions and possibly supports military technology alliances, and Algeria supporting Palestinian movements in ways that indirectly align with Iran. It is important to note that while several nations support Iran diplomatically, economically, or technologically, few are involved in direct combat operations. Yeah, whatever. The point is, them niggas getting help. America is fucked. Fucked. Right? So let's go over here again. One missile is enough to erase the small hats. Kim Jong-un offers support if Iran requested. So we're going to read over here, this article here. Kim Jong-un has reportedly stated that if Iran were to request military assistance, North Korea will be prepared to provide missiles against Israel, adding that one missile is enough to erase it. And right now, Tel Aviv, his brothers keep saying, Tel Aviv look like motherfucking Gaza. Look like the Gaza Strip right now. This shit crazy. The alleged remarks, which have circulated widely online, have intensified discussions around geopolitical tensions in the Middle East and East Asia. However, as of now, there has been no widely verified confirmation from established Salakia, man, I don't know what I'm on right now, international news agencies regarding the authenticity of the statement. Please forgive me. Reading like I don't know how to read. It says the claim, if accurate, would signal a significant escalation in rhetoric involving North Korea, Iran, and Israel. Analysts note that such declarations, whether official or speculative, can heighten regional anxieties and contribute to diplomatic strain. Observers are urging caution, emphasizing the importance of verifying sources before drawing conclusions about sensitive international matters. In an era of rapid information sharing, unconfirmed statements can quickly influence public perception and political discourse. Governments and global institutions continue to monitor developments closely amid ongoing global security concerns. Kim says one missile is enough, plus offers Iran support. Are we watching World War III set up in real time? And of course, this we in World War III. We're just not at the pinnacle of World War III where the nukes are going to fly, but we are indeed in World War III. We're in it. And yeah, who knows if this is exactly what Kim Jong Un said. This is, what reports say he said. It's not a video of him saying this, but even then, he offered support to Iran. That's the point. He did offer support if Iran wants it. So, it's lucky. So yeah, we are in beautiful times, man. Everybody is lining up against America. Everybody's coming against this place, man. And America and the small hats and all that. And this is all prophecy. So let me go over here actually. Let's go to maybe it's in Obadiah. I don't remember. Yep. Edom will be humble. So we'll start at verse 1. The point being at 2. The vision of Obadiah, saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So all the heathens are now rising up against this bitch in battle. All the heathens want to come up against this whore in battle. And I say, why am I referring to this whore when it's talking about Edom? Well, who runs the whore? Who runs America? Edom. All right, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. So now these Edomites in America is greatly despised, man. And they're now small among the heathen because the battlefield has now been made somewhat even. What does Joel the 3rd chapter say? Let the weak say I am strong. Well, now all these heathens, they have the same arsenal, if not a more powerful arsenal than America has. All right. We just read in Jeremiah 50 about the Lord opening his armory. All right. So now these heathens are on the same level, if not greater than America at this point. And now America is being made in the small hats, and Edom in general is being made small among the heathen. All right. And Russia they're Edomites too, but they're just, as the elder Isaiah always said, they're just a greater Edomite for destruction. That's it. They're a better Edomite for destruction. Still Esau. But anyway, all the heathens are now rising up against her in battle, and she's been made small among them. And let's get this, let's get another one out of here. So Obadiah in the MSG, Obadiah 1. Obadiah's message to Edom from God, the Master. We got the news straight from the Most High by a special messenger sent out to the godless nations, meaning the heathens, because they all worship false gods. So ultimately, it's no gods. On your feet, prepare for battle. This is like what he was saying in Jeremiah 3. Since I'm quoting it, shit, might as well go hit it real quick. I said Jeremiah, Salakia, Joel 3. The nations will be judged. When you get down around here, Look at this. I'll skip down to the point. Verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Be your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. All right. The wickedness of all the heathens, but especially Babylon the Great. All right. Their time is up. Like it said in the MSG of Jeremiah 50, their time is up. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Remember, the day of the Lord is near. All right. It's near, man. So it says, there we go. So let's go back over here. On your feet, prepare for battle. Get ready to make war on Edom. That's what all the nations are doing, including their own. Listen to this, Edom. I'm turning you to a no account, the runt of the godless nations, meaning you're going back to the bases of men. You're going back to the lowest. You're being made small, as it said, among the heathen, despised. All right, there you go. So you're being brought back down. You're being brought back low. Everybody's against you, man. Everybody's against you. Even your own people. Like I keep saying, the Russians are Edomites. Even your own people are against you. All right, even your own. Hell, even the Edomites here in America, they're against your ass. They ain't down with this shit for the most part. They thought Trump was going a different path. They ain't down with this shit. Them niggas having buyer's remorse right about now. So yeah, this is a beautiful thing, man. All these nations are gathering up against America. This is amazing to watch and see. All right, so I want to go here as well. There's so much to get concerned in this, man. All the nations aiding each other. But let's see. So much to get. But I don't want to make this too long. I'm going to close this off shortly. Need to charge this computer. So I'm going to put this thing on the charger too. Yeah, but as I was saying, let's see. Jeremiah 50 and 41. Well, right. It's Jeremiah 50 and verse 41 in the MSG. And now watch this. People pouring out of the north. Hordes of people. All right. Now this people is talking about the Russians, the Medes. All right. Hordes of people, a mob of kings stirred up from far off places, flourishing deadly weapons, barbarians. They are cruel and pitiless, roaring and relentless. It's like relentless, forgive me, relentless, like ocean breakers. They come riding fierce stallions in battle formation, ready to fight you, daughter Babylon. All right. So, hey, man, this is amazing, man. This is a beautiful thing, bro, to see, bro. This is an amazing thing to see, man. Good Lord. Everybody's gathering against America, man. And even America's own allies, as Revelation 17 and 16, they're turning against America, man. They're turning against America. It is done. You more and more every day, you see why he got to come down with that great wrath. He's over with. This nigga's done. Right? Let me go to Jeremiah 51. It's shit. Hot fire in that too. Might throw that one in the MSG. Let's go to here in the MSG. The fuck going on? Hmm. Okay, so the fuck, some more Wi-Fi should be fine. Huh? What the fuck going on there? What the fuck? Slocky, y'all bear with me. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Why is nothing working? This has never happened. What the fuck is going on? Try this. Bear with me a moment. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, we back. Back in business. Salakia for the technical difficulties. We are back in business. So Salakia. So bear with me a moment. I'm about to end this off shortly anyway. So let's see. What was that? I was over here in this MSG, wasn't it? Yep. So start this off again. Jeremiah 50 and 41, MSG. And now watch this. Now, did I read this already? No, I did. I read this already. So what was I gonna get? Damn, what the hell was I gonna get? I was over here. Yeah. Yeah, I remember now. I already read that. Jeremiah 51 and 11. Sharpen the arrows, fill the quivers. Yahweh have stirred up the kings of the Medes, infecting them with war fever. Oh my goodness, what's war fever? Let's go to that word war fever. I know what it is, but let's go look it up. Infecting them with war fever. War fever refers to both the intense patriotic enthusiasm for war. So this is an intense enthusiasm for war. War fever, man. All the nations got war fever right about now. All right, it says, destroy Babylon. God's on the war path. He's out to avenge his temple, which are the Israelites. Give the signal to attack Babylon's walls. Station guards around the clock. Bring in reinforcements. Set men in ambush. Yahweh will do what he planned. And that's Isaiah. All right, the book of Isaiah, where the Lord said he declared the end from the beginning, and at the end his counsel shall stand. Right? It says, what he said he'd do to the people of Babylon, you have more water than you need, you have more money than you need, but your life is over, your lifeline is cut. So none of that shit gonna get you out of this. You can't buy your way out of this destruction, Esau. You can't buy your way out. You bought your way around and out of everything, but you can't buy your way out of this fucking destruction. All right, there's no way out of this one, nigga. All right, so let me go down here because there's more. So much more. Just bear with me. This thing is filled with stuff, man. Just want to keep it on topic, so that's why I'm skipping through some of this stuff. So where's that other stuff? That should be around here. Oh, I overlooked it. Oh, it's right here. Jeremiah 51 and 28. Yeah, let me get that. Jeremiah 51 and 27 to 28. Raise the signal in the land, blow the shofar trumpet for the nations, consecrate the nations for holy work against her. So the nations coming against and gathering against Babylon the Great, this is a holy work, right? The work of the Lord. call kingdoms into service against her, enlist Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz. Yeah, man. It says, appoint a field marshal against her and round up horses, locusts, hordes of horses. Consecrate the nations for holy work against her, the kings, the king of the Medes, his leaders, and people. All right, so it's a holy thing for all these nations to gather against Babylon the Great America. This is a holy work. All right, the king of the Medes being the Russians. All right, his leaders being the other top nations under him: China, North Korea, South Africa, India, people. So you're going to have American allies that are against this place too. That's why NATO and the EU is being completely severed apart. It's getting broken up completely. A lot of nations are leaving the NATO and the EU. Well, nations are considering leaving the NATO, and nations are leaving the EU. All right, and that fits the prophecy of Revelation 17 and 16. All right, and many other prophecies. Babylon is being left completely vulnerable. All right, and the people also talk about your regular citizens as well. Even the everyday average regular Joe Schmo citizen in any of these countries, including America, they despise America. It says the very land trembles in terror, writhes in pain, terrorized by my plans against Babylon. Plans to turn the country of Babylon into a lifeless moonscape, a wasteland. Babylon's soldiers have quit fighting, and there you go. You know, damn, it's hard, and damn, this. Yeah, next time I go into that, I'm gonna read that in this translation, Lord willing. But yeah, there you go. All right, I wanna gonna shoot for this. We just gonna let me make sure I ain't leave nothing on here. So I just got one more scripture, and I'm gonna just end it off. You know, we've been at it long enough. Yeah, it's a lot of firepower here. So anyway, let's just go from here to Ezekiel 38 or 38. Yeah, we're gonna read some of this in the Message translation as well. Yeah, verse 7 is the point. So let's see what it's going to give us here. So we read this, but the point is that 7. Let me see what it say here. So we read some of this. We read this in this translation, and we're gonna jump back to the KJV so you see what it really say. But anyway, this is Ezekiel 38 and 1 in the MSG. Yahweh's message came to me, son of man, confront Gog from the country of Magog, which Magog just means from God. It's talking about the Russians, not the Japhites, which are the ancient Gogites, but this is they're talking about the Russians. All right. Head of Meshach and Tubal, prophesy against him, say, God the Master says, be warned, Gog, I am against you. Head of Meshach and Tubal, I'm going to turn you around, put hooks in your jaws, and drag you off with your whole army, your horses and riders in full armor, all those shields and bucklers and swords, fighting men armed to the teeth. Persia and Cush and Put will be in the ranks also, well armed, as will Gomer. All right, Cush and Put. All right, Cush is man, I always get this shit mixed up. Let me get it. These are both are Hamites, though, nonetheless. I could pull it up real quick. Got my Bible right here. Yeah, Cush are the Ethiopians, so-called Ethiopians, and Put is the so-called Libyans. So basically it says the Ethiopians and the Libyans, all right? And Persia is talking about Iran. Persia today is Iran, all right? So Iran, the so-called Ethiopians, and the so-called Libyans will be in the ranks, also well armed. And they are well armed, especially Iran. Niggas still, it's 2026, niggas still think Iran don't have a nuclear missile. They don't think they got nuclear missiles in 2026. That shit don't even make no sense. Now I'm gonna ask this question. Is Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya in cahoots with Russia? Whatever, bro. I don't even feel like going deep into that shit. You know, you gotta ask the question the right way to get the correct answer. It's whatever. But anyway, you get the point. They will be in the ranks, also well armed, as will Gomer and his armies in Beth Togarmah out of the north with its armies. With this army, many nations will be with you. So many nations are going to be with the Russians. All right, many of them, even those who were once allied with America, they're going to go jump ship and go with the Russians, the Medes. All right. So all these nations are going to be against America and the small hats. Get ready to fight. You and the whole company that's been called out. Take charge and wait for orders. After a long time, you'll be giving your orders. In the distant future, you'll arrive at a country that has recovered from a devastating war. And it says, and then it's gonna get into something else. So it's gonna be it's on the same point, because it's gonna speak about Israel, but this is talking about the not us, but the small hats in this point. But anyway, I want to jump back to the KJV, and we're at verse 7. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia's going to be a guard unto these nations. All right, he's going to be a guard to them. And North Korea offering up their help to Iran like this, and as we already looked up this earlier, Russia, China, Syria, all that stuff, right? All these nations are in agreements to assist Iran if they want help. This is ultimately Russia being a guard unto them, because all of these nations that are allied to help Iran, they're under Russia. And Russia helped first. Russia was the first ones to help. So they're being a guard to the nations. They're being a guard to Iran. All right, and these other smaller nations, Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, all right, being a help unto these smaller nations. You understand? So anyway, and Iran ain't no small nation, but Ethiopia and Libya, military might, yeah. But anyway, you get the point. I'm just rambling at this point. So I'm ending the lesson off there. Is that I gotten to a point. You get to a point sometimes in lessons, you just get to rambling. So that's the sign to close this thing up. So I do hope and pray that this is edifying to the elect. I want to close by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught us all this truth in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Oh, damn. Hold on. I forgot. Oh, man. I forgot to show something. Fuck. You know what, bro? I'll just show it in another one, man. I'll just show it in another one. It's all right. I'll show it in another lesson. So, Ababa Ball, Kwame Sharala Gadol Abadium, Lababal Gadol, Yahweh Mahar, Wahabatham. And until next time, I would like to say unto you all, Shalom. Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, for allowing me to make this lesson.